All right, welcome back to our next episode of Jocks with Docs. So this week we're going to kind of touch on a couple of different things. We got last week's games of the NFL, and then of course this week's predictions as well. So I guess we'll start out with last week's games and kind of how everything ended up turning out. My predictions were a little bit awful on some of these, actually quite a few of them. So I had the Broncos and Steelers, and I had the Broncos freaking winning last week, and that did not fucking happen. Because the Broncos offense has somehow disappeared, and the Steelers defense is pretty much carrying the Steelers, and the offense for the Steelers doesn't have to do a whole lot.
I agree. Yeah, and Fields has been good. I mean, his QBR has been 91, right?
He just ain't got to turn the ball over, and that's it.
No turnovers yet. So, but only one touchdown. That's a problem.
Yeah. Well, that's all they needed against the Broncos.
Yes, but we know it's not going to. You can't play like this the rest of the year. But the good thing is it's early. Defense is out of this world, right? It's only given up 20 points in 2 games, 6 in the one game, 14 to the Falcons. So, kudos to the Steelers defense. But I thought Knicks actually played better than what the numbers showed. I still think Sean Payton needs to let him get a little more reins. I understand he's a rookie, but he's not your typical rookie. He's almost 25.
Right, and he had 5 years in the college. Or 6, however, he's like he had a long time in a freaking NCAA.
Yes, so, and you can see it. You can see it that he was comfortable. I mean, was he under duress?
Yeah, because the freaking O-line sucks. It couldn't block a freaking wet paper bag.
Exactly. O-line, Bowles really struggled. T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, they each only ended up with 1 sack, but they were literally in the backfield on every play.
Right.
So it's
and
hard.
Just rushing.
It's just rush.
But my thing is too, like I think we had talked, during the game as well. But like the play calling, I don't understand Sean Payton's play calling. It's not making a whole lot of sense of why he's calling the plays he's calling. For one, he was talking about substitutions and all these packages and getting personnel. And why are you having to substitute that much? If you're substituting that much, then obviously your offense is not getting in a rhythm and it's not working. So stop substituting so many people in and out and trying to create or come up with different packages.
Yeah, and he wants mismatches, but it's hard to find a mismatch when no one's getting into a rhythm. It's like they get one play, like that one play, the deep play to Sutton. You remember Cortland Sutton? That was a nice throw by Knicks. And then Cortland's on the sideline the next play, and guess what? 2 plays, there's an interception in the end zone. Now, do I think Bo should have threw that ball with double coverage? You got Deshaun Elliott, the safety, and Corey Trice, the corner underneath, the nickel corner.
That was a bad throw.
And he said it in the press conference. They said, what happened? I threw the ball to the other team.
Right.
I mean, what is he supposed to say?
Right.
Plain and simple. It's a bad read on my part. Again, they didn't help him with the play call there. You're at 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line after a big play to Cortland Sutton and the nice run by
Josh Reynolds, I think.
By Josh Reynolds. Not the run, but the pass to Josh Reynolds. And then what? An interception. And then that just kills you.
Kills momentum.
Kills the momentum. You had 3 points. At that point, you were still in the game. You're only down 10, right? You're only down 13-3. So it's not like it's the end of the world, right? You still have the whole 4th quarter. And you saw from that moment there that the Steelers,
And even if they didn't get a touchdown at that point, they could at least got a field goal out of that.
Exactly.
But I don't understand. You never throw in the middle of the field when you're in the red zone. It never works out. You got too many personnel in a small field. So why you don't call an outside run, a screen, out route, slant, something that's going to, be a quick play. Not something that's, takes some time to develop, because every time you need a play that's going to take a lot of time to develop, shit goes haywire.
And this is the most frustrating thing with Sean Payton. You're dealing with a quarterback that is the most accurate college passer in the history of college football.
Right.
That's Bo Nix. And so why are we calling those plays when it's over the middle where there's so much for him to read, instead of just letting him be accurate? Let him, give him options instead of just having him throw it over the middle of the field in a defense when it's double covered. He felt like he couldn't get sacked. It was 2nd down. I didn't think it was the end of the world if Cam Hayward was breathing down his neck. I'm sure that's what he saw, is the inside pressure. defensive tackle, nose tackles coming up the middle. The worst pressure you can get as a quarterback is what? Right up in your face, your grill.
Yeah.
Outside, you can kind of step up into the pocket, right? But
Right.
if it's right in your grill, I don't care if you're Tom
Ain't
Brady,
nowhere to go.
Manning, ain't nowhere to go. You're gonna get fought and you're gonna get hit in the mouth. That doesn't feel good. So I kind of felt that was very bad play calling on Sean Payton and who's the offense coordinator? What's his name?
See, I couldn't even tell you.
He's not even. He's like the play coordinator, though. He doesn't call the
Right.
plays. Sean calls the plays. We know that.
Right.
Sean's already said it. So I just think Sean, and I do think Sean is one of the best play callers. Him and Sean Payton and Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. Those would be my top three.
Oh, you can't forget freaking Andy Reid either.
Well, he's the best. I just
Oh,
meant
yeah.
Andy's my
Oh,
number
yeah.
one. I just
Oh,
meant
yeah.
after Andy. Andy's number one. I've been said that for 20 some odd years. He is the best at coming up with plays. And it's
Yep.
simple though. He doesn't try to trick you with window dressing and shit like Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Andy Reid is very simple, very very simple, and that's why you see them doing usually good. Although the Chiefs have been struggling, but we'll get to that. They're still 2-0 though.
Right.
All
But
right,
my
so
thing too is like, I was talking to my neighbor who's a Steelers fan too. We were talking, and the one play that they had called that freaking drove me nuts, I didn't understand it, is they called a tight end screen to freaking Dulcich.
to Dulcich, I actually like him though. I actually like
But
him.
a screen to a tight end. Why would you call a tight end screen? A
They
tight
do it.
end's not going to get
Well,
freaking.
no, I don't know. They do a lot to Travis Kelce and Mark. What's his name in Baltimore?
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, works for them. So I can't really knock the screen. Not many teams can run a tight end screen. He is
Right.
good though. That Dutchess guy, whatever you said, he's good.
Not recently though. He's been consistently dropping balls and killing their.
Well, you got to remember, it's not his first sport. He's not from this country, so he doesn't play football.
I think he played basketball.
Yeah, he's still learning how to play football, but he's athletic. He's fast. Once he gets the hand part down, he can't block because, not many tight ends can in today's offense. So,
yeah,
they don't make them like Gronk.
Yep.
Yep.
Gates.
Dallas Clark.
Yep.
I like Dallas a lot for the Colts, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah. That was a crazy day for me. So, and then we had another game. It was the Ravens versus the Raiders.
Jesus.
The Raiders ended up freaking winning that one, which I didn't see coming.
None of us saw coming, Brad. That would you know what? I was looking at the last 5 years for the Ravens. They've given up, count them, 13 leads in the fourth quarter. What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is unheard of from a Harbaugh team. It's hard to believe, but you know what it boils down to is they're using Lamar Jackson as a running back too much and not letting him be in a quarterback. And in the fourth quarter, guess what happens? Things get tighter. It's harder for the windows for him to throw. So he starts bailing out too early and he's getting stopped.
And teams know what they're going to do.
Exactly. So it's one-dimensional.
Predictable.
Henry, they didn't even use Henry again in the fourth quarter. I don't get it. You're
I
up
don't
10.
either.
Why are you not? You should take the air out of the ball. Stop running Lamar. Stop
Right.
when you have a lead. Because here's the thing: the Ravens have probably a top 5 roster. I still see it as a top 5 roster.
Yep.
But they're mishandling. I'm not going to put it all on Harbaugh, of course not, because I think he's a great coach. But their offensive coordinator, who I usually agree with, has been terrible in the second half. First half, they're building the lead. They had the lead in the last game. They were lucky to hold on in the game 1, right? Because they didn't play a good team. But in game 2, the Raiders, I don't think they're a good team, but I do think the Raiders are going to be better this year because they have a quarterback, Minshew. He's not great, but he does enough. He does enough.
Right.
And Crosby was, good Lord, he's possessed.
Yeah.
Max Crosby is possessed. I like their coach a lot, Antonio Pierce. I do think he's a very good coach for them, for that culture. The players respect him because he played so well, hard-nosed. So, but I was still shocked. You're up by 10, 7 minutes left, and you lose. You get outscored 13-0 in 7 minutes. That can't happen, Brad. That can't happen. So, 0-2 for the first time since 2015.
That's crazy.
That's just crazy.
Well, like I said, I mean the whole entire offense runs through Lamar Jackson, and it
Yes,
should not run through him.
yeah. Well, I'm not saying it shouldn't run through him, but he should not be the quarterback and the running back. That's the problem, and he's
No,
going to get hurt.
but
It's
that's his
not a matter
first
of if.
instinct is to just take off. That's
That's
like
it.
he just takes off. He
He just
doesn't
takes
look.
off.
He just runs.
He just runs, and it hurts the team. Yes, he can get 10, 16-yard scrambles, but you're not within the offense, and that's what he has to understand. When you're within the offense, you get some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? You know, build on plays. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you're using everyone, so the defense can key in on you. Because
Right.
once Lamar takes a big hit like he did last year and the year before, it's not a matter of if. Again, it's a matter of when, and he cannot do it all. You got Henry. Come on, 6'2", 250 pounds back there. That's a big boy.
Yep.
Use him.
One of the best running backs in the league.
And out of all time. I mean,
Yeah.
all time. So
next game we had was the Browns versus the Jags, which
I screwed this one up too.
Yeah, I did too. I had the Jags winning, and I think so. I don't know what's going on with the Jags.
You opened up 0 for 3. At least I won 1. I'm 1 and 2. Golly, we were terrible. This weekend, Brad, was bad. Last weekend, good. Very good.
A lot of surprising upsets that I don't think a lot of people thought. I mean, the Jets and Titans, kind of predictable that the Jets were going to win because the Titans are freaking a mess right now.
Did we both pick? I think we both picked the Jets.
I think so.
Yeah, on that one. Okay.
But the Browns and Jags, I didn't see. I didn't see the Browns because Jags have. We talked about them having a very good defense. Their quarterback, he's a good quarterback. So I don't understand what's going on with the offense. When they got a good team, they're not a horrible team.
No, and the defense is good. And I still thought the defense played good against the Browns. It's not like Deshaun didn't light them up.
No.
But again, turnovers. You had to fumble by Travis. Again, 2 weeks in a row. Can't have it. The last week one, that one killed them, right? It cost them the game. This one didn't cost them because it was in the first half. But you cannot drop the ball like that. I mean, Trevor's giving it to Travis. I don't understand where's the holdup there. So Travis will figure it out. I mean, I think he only fumbled 1 time last year. He's already got 2 in 2 weeks, and he lost both of them. Not a good sign, right? One of them returned for a touchdown. That's bad news. But I do like ETN. I like Trevor. I do think he's a good quarterback. Do I think he should have got $260 million? Of course not. But that's the market.
That's the going rate.
That's the going rate right now. So I mean, if he's going to get that money, he's a year older than Jordan Love. Even though Jordan Love was drafted in the same draft, Trevor started earlier. Remember, it seems like Trevor's been in the league forever, but he's actually this is only his 4th year.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, 5th year because he came out in 2019 from Clemson. But I don't know. I just they're another one of those head scratching team. They're 0-2.
Yep.
There's just
and
no
shouldn't
way.
be.
No, it shouldn't be.
Well, I don't know if a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of these teams sat most of their starters in preseason. I mean, especially the last game. Like, none of them, a lot of teams didn't play their stars the last game. So how can you...
But the Saints didn't either, and they're on an NFL pace to break the record.
What the hell is going on with them?
So I don't want to sit here
and
blame preseason.
Surprised.
No, it's been, you know what it is, Brad? It's bad quarterback play. And Tom Brady said it best last year. We are in an era now where quarterback play it's terrible. You had 0, I count them, 0 300-yard passers for the first time since 2015.
Yeah.
Not 1 300-yard passer the whole weekend.
I think there's only been 60 touchdowns thrown.
Yeah. They're
in 2024.
And they almost have more running. Since when?
Yeah.
Since when? It's a problem. It's because and they put it on Bryce Young. That's not fair. That team is terrible, Brad.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And so put that on that kid.
That's on ownership.
Fair. It's not fair, man. You could put Brady in his prime.
Ownership puts the team on the field. Ownership puts the team on the field. So you get what you buy.
Exactly.
I mean, if you put any quality team together and surrounding him with pieces,
and they've had
then what do you expect?
Yes, and you traded, you mortgaged your future.
Right.
The Bears raped you, essentially. Get rid of DJ Moore, the number 1, the number 3.
You traded CMC. You traded freaking DJ Moore. You traded
who else did they trade? CMC. The DJ Moore I'm okay with because you got some return on it because you got the number 1 pick. But trading CMC, Brad, had to have been the dumbest fucking thing since Herschel Walker or one of those dumbass trades.
And what did they get out of? They haven't gotten no
Nothing.
return on it.
No return on either one of them, right?
No.
No, and they're terrible. They are the worst team in football. It's not even close.
I just don't understand like how these teams don't understand. I can't remember what coach had said it best. Might have been Bill Cowher years ago had said that if you're gonna build a team, you build from the trenches.
100%.
So you build from the O line and D line. That's your team. And how these teams have not figured that out yet is beyond me.
Well, look at the teams with rookie quarterbacks. You ready? Caleb Williams. What's his problem? Yeah. It ain't him.
It's the line.
We know he can play. The O line.
Nix.
Bryce Young.
O
line. Bo Nix.
O line.
Brad, how do we figure out? You and I are not getting paid by the National Football League. Neither one of us, right? I feel that they should be. They should. You should be for the Broncos. Yeah. I should be for the Steelers. Although
there you
the
go.
Steelers' offensive line is a top 10 line this year. I do think they will be.
Well, I mean, and that's been the thing with the Steelers. They have, like I said, Bill Cowher, I think, had the quote, and why the Steelers have been consistent for years, and on point had 3 freaking coaches in their entire fucking franchise, is because they've always built from the line.
Yeah, it's from 1969. We've had 3. That's wild, man.
You've had, Mean Joe Green. You've had freaking T.J. Watt. You've had, who else has been on, over the years, has been on the line that has been freaking...
Cameron Hayward, Brett
Pouncey.
Brett Kiesel, Marquise Pouncey, DeCastro, David DeCastro. He was really good. These guys are Hall of Famers,
Right.
In the trenches, though. And then go to the defense line. Casey Hampton. Remember Casey, the nose tackle? Aaron, what's his name? Aaron, the
Aaron Donald, not Donald.
Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith. Yep.
So they just consistently had quality offensive and defensive linemen.
Yeah, and then linebackers, of course. It always starts with linebackers in the Steelers. So whether it was Watt or it was Ryan Shazier, who's one of the best ever to play the game, obviously career cut short, only played 6 years, but he would have been in the Hall of Fame for sure.
And that's what I was telling my neighbor, too, that, you look at the Steelers and they don't pay their wide receivers a crap ton of money. And there's a reason why. Because they build from – you don't pay one single guy a crap ton of money.
No.
And they produced wide receiver after wide receiver after wide receiver.
And they draft so well. They draft so well.
That's all they've had to do. So they don't need to pay, their wide receivers a boatload of money.
Yep. Yeah, and the team is always, it's got a different, persona. It's like he's a Steeler, go get him. Like Pickens from Georgia. He's very, very tough. He's our number one, but the rest of our receivers are not doing good. I think we only have 5 catches for like 44 yards outside of Pickens.
Right.
In 2 games. That's pretty embarrassing, but I think it will get better the more Fields plays with them. Now that Fields been ruled the starter for week 3, I think he holds the job for the rest of the year. Like we talked about this before. I think Russell Wilson's going to request a trade coming up here because the deadline's in week 8 now. They pushed it back 2 weeks. So I think he's going to go either to the Dolphins. Russell will ask to go to Miami because they got a lot of talent down there, and it would probably be good for him. They got the talent down there. It's either Miami or I see him going to the Vikings because
Sam Darnold's holding it down, though.
I know, but if you think Darnold starts to struggle, you could put Russ in. They got Jefferson. They got a good running back now. With Aaron Jones, so they have the offensive line is solid in Minnesota now. They're much better.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see. All right, what's the next game? Let's move on.
49ers versus Vikings. That was a surprise. I didn't see the freaking Vikings winning that one.
Speaking of Darno, and you and I both were not fans of his.
No.
I mean, kudos on him. He survived the Jets and the Panthers. He was on 2 of those teams last year.
Yep.
The Jets and the Panthers and
the Niners.
And the Niners. And so now here he is on the Vikings. And
I mean, that just proves all along that it depends on the coaching staff and the system that the quarterback's in and how these teams develop. If you got a coach that cannot develop a player, then the players are going to suffer. And that's clearly the case with Darnold if he's, having so much success in Minnesota.
Yeah, I agree. And look how good he did. I mean, he threw that 97-yard bomb, but it helps when you have who I think the best receiver in the game is Jefferson. to me the best with size, speed, and you put it all together. To me, he's the best in the NFL. I know everyone wants to say Jamar Chase or Devontae Adams, all that. No, I ain't trying to hear
Freaking
it.
Jamar Chase, that damn bonehead.
Nah, he's frustrating because the talent is definitely
Yeah.
could be the best, 100%. But the attitude. But you know what? In
And
fairness,
Burrow had to get him in check that game.
yes. And then in all fairness, he didn't want to get. I mean, you have 2 years on your deal. They have to understand you cannot until 1 year left on your deal. And he doesn't want to get tagged like Higgins. I get it, but
Right.
it's a business at the end of the day. So I mean, you get tagged. That means you get 25 million next year because
Right.
that's the number
Guaranteed.
guaranteed. I mean, yeah. So it's only 1 year, and you're worried about your health. I get it, but just go out and play. And if you go out and play, who knows? In the
And prove your
offseason,
worth.
you get taken care of with the 4 year, 130 million. He's gonna reset the market. We
I
already know.
think if anybody has a right to be frustrated, it would be CeeDee Lamb in freaking Dallas.
Yeah, but he got paid now. But CD got paid. Remember?
Yeah, he did. But I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I mean? Like initially, like I
But
think
he only
they had
had a
to
year
wait
left on
for.
his. Yeah, he only had a year, right? So he was way outplaying his contract. See, that's what I'm
Right.
telling you. 1 year. So then you have people like Brandon Ayuk. Again, you have 2 years left on your deal. You cannot.
Right.
What are these players doing? And you know what the problem is it happened and someone got it, so they all think they're entitled to it instead of just let's get in and get to work. It's your job. You signed the contract. So
Yep.
until you're up in your final year of the deal, that's the way the CBA is. Now, if the team wants to do it in your second year, third year, that's the team's discretion, right? But as a player, and you want to hold out, I will never question a man's money. But don't complain when you get in and you're not getting the ball.
But I mean, I think so too. Like with the wide receivers, I think obviously the wide receivers have always been divas for as long as we can remember. They're always constantly believe
Yes.
that the team runs through them, but it's been proven. You look at a team like Buffalo, they're now switching their philosophy where the
And
team
they're-
doesn't run through Diggs or the wide receivers because
Yes.
they traded him off. It runs through everybody else of getting the whole team together.
Yes. And we talked about that in the week one of this, right? What did I tell you?
Right.
The Bills will be better because Josh Allen won't have to feed Diggs. And Diggs is a diva, and it's going to start in Houston. It hasn't started yet. But look, he didn't get the ball this last game or the
Yep.
first. You know who's getting the ball all the
Nico
time?
Collins.
And he's a beast
Yep.
from Michigan. He's
Yep.
an absolute monster. I wouldn't throw. I mean, it's nice to have Diggs and Tank Dell, but neither one of them have more than 2 catches in a game yet.
Yep.
Nico had 8 this game, right, against the Bears, and 9 in the first game. Hello. It's because he's always open and he runs right. He doesn't stop. He competes on every play. Go look at Stephon Diggs. Go look at Tank Dell. They're not running on every route. And guess who? C.J. Stroud. That's a very good quarterback, Brad.
And that's the thing too. Like you look at teams, like as soon as, even if you have a legit top wide receiver like Tyreek Hill, Miami, look what happened
Yep.
last week. As soon as Tua went down, your good quarterback goes down,
and you're done.
and you're done. So
Yeah, and-
it doesn't matter if you have the best wide receiver in the world.
Exactly. If you can't get the ball. We
Right.
know that. That's why I think it is important that you have a backup that's good. That's why if I'm the Steelers, I don't trade Russell. God
Right.
forbid something goes down with Justin. Guess what? You guys shouldn't skip a beat. Russell can run
Right.
the offense just like Justin. The only difference is you don't have the added legs anymore like Russell used
Right.
to be able to do. But guess what? He's still one of the best ever in the play action. We all know that. He made a Hall of Fame career out of that. I think he gets into the Hall of Fame. I know a lot of people are saying no, but I mean, he should be a 2-time Super Bowl champion. But he's a 1-time because Pete Carroll,
Right.
what the fuck? But that's
Ran the
for
ball.
another day. That's stupid. Get a ball, and we were talking about running the ball before, right?
Yeah.
Like give the ball to Beast Mode. Like
Yep.
I don't understand. So, but yeah, okay, let's move on. Who's the next
All
one?
right, so the next one, I think we already touched on the Chargers and Panthers game. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
Panthers in disarray. Seahawks versus Pats. Seahawks are now 2-0.
I was pretty.
That was a
impressed.
good game, 23-20.
Yeah, it was a good game, and then to fly from PNW, the West Coast, all the way to Foxborough,
Yeah,
and have it in the afternoon slot, right? You didn't have much time to prepare for it. Kudos to Seattle. I was impressed with Geno
their
Smith. I thought he
defense
played-
is really good.
defense
Another
was
good
really
defense.
Geno looked good. DK Metcalf caught that big play, the 56-yard touchdown, right? The corner slipped, so
Yeah.
that was a give me. I also think the running game has been pretty impressive for the
Yeah.
Seahawks.
'Cause
Kenneth
I think
Walker,
Walker he got injured though, didn't
he
he?
got banged up, but I think he'll miss a week or two. They said, but he'll be back, so he'll
Yeah.
be fine. They got Charbonnet from UCLA, the backup. He's a good backup.
Right. Yep.
They've been splitting carries in that last game, so we'll see.
Next game we got is the Saints versus the Cowboys. I had the Cowboys winning, and boy, was I wrong on that one.
So was I, and I had the Cowboys in a blowout, and
Man, it went the opposite direction.
44-19, Brad. I mean, 500 yards of total offense. Are you kidding me? In Jerry's world, Alvin Kamara, not one, not two, not three, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
it's wild. Dallas, their defense, you can see it's not the same this year. They've had a lot. Obviously, they changed the scheme, so things are changing. Parts, coaches
McCarthy's
change.
on the hot seat.
He's definitely on the hot seat.
Kellen Moore's not there anymore.
No, he's in Philly now, right?
Yep.
He's in Philly now, their offense coordinator. But Dak wasn't the problem. Dak actually had a pretty decent game, almost threw 300 yards. He was actually the closest to 300 yards this week.
He ain't helped me in fantasy, damn it.
Yeah, but it wasn't him. He was not the problem. It was the defense. They couldn't stop Kamara. They couldn't stop Carr and Shaheed. They couldn't stop what's his name? Chris Olave, the wide receiver, had 9 catches for 110 yards. So they all over the place. Derek Carr was looking like Joe Montana, Tom Brady, whatever you want to call it.
He started off the season so far pretty good.
Yeah,
he's had two really good games.
Yes, and it's pretty safe to say he wasn't the problem in Vegas.
Yeah, well, we all know the problem in Vegas.
Yeah, no shit.
Forget Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, okay. Oh, my God. Worst coach ever. Okay, go ahead.
Giants versus Commanders. I think the Commanders ended up winning that one, which isn't surprising.
I've been pretty impressed with Jaden Daniels. I thought
he's been the best rookie so far, I think.
Yeah, I think he's been the best rookie. He's been the most
consistent. The 3 starters.
No turnovers, right? He's protecting the football. He fumbled, but he didn't lose it. He recovered, so good on him for that one. I've been impressed with him. I do think the Commanders' defense is a little better, but they played the Giants, Brad. So come on, let's not get too excited here, okay? I want to see them play somebody.
That could be a team that Russell Wilson goes to. Would be the Giants if they get tired of Daniel Jones.
Well, you can't get tired of him because that contract is out of this world.
I mean, the Broncos are eating freaking Wilson's contract.
Brad, when he signed that contract, I cannot believe this is highway robbery. That GM 100% is getting fired. Joe Schoen, he's gone. Yeah. He's gone after this year.
He's done.
Done. Cooked. Okay, next.
We got the Bucks versus the Lions. I had the Lions winning. The Buccaneers again.
So
they're surprising.
I thought this game and obviously the game last night were the 2 best games of the weekend to me.
Right.
Those are the best ones. I was impressed with Baker Mayfield. I think when he first came out, I was not a believer. It's because of where he went, though. I think if he wasn't drafted by the Browns, this kid has a possible Hall of Fame career. But because he was the number 1 pick to Cleveland, coming out of Oklahoma, winning the Heisman, I was worried that we'd have another Johnny Manziel. But you know what? I like Baker. I can't even sit here and lie. The kid is tough as nails. He just stands in there, and he was delivering some big throws to Godwin, to Evans, getting lit. I mean, he's getting hit hard.
Right.
Detroit's got a good defense, and he can move. He can move.
I think Hutchinson had 5 sacks that game. Still had 5 sacks, and they still won.
He had 3 in the first quarter, Brad. What the? He is an absolute monster.
He is.
Absolute monster. But, again, the Buccaneers didndidn't quit. I mean, they fought back, and then they took the lead, and then they didn't look back. And they're doing this without a running game. Wait until Rashawn White, the back from USC, and the other, that rookie that they drafted, who I like, Bucky Irvin or whatever.
Right.
I like him. So I think once they start to run the ball, that's going to be a complete offense because you got Godwin, you got Evans, you got to like those receivers, right? Yeah, I mean, hello, it's the 2 Pro Bowlers last year. Both of them made the Pro Bowl last year. So, we'll see. I think Tampa Bay's a load.
Yeah, they are.
That was without their safety. Brandon, what's his name? the safety that they signed,
No.
Antoine Winfield
Oh
Jr.
yes, yep,
He was out, and they still won. That's their best player on defense, so that's a good sign for Tampa and
yep.
and Todd Bowles. All right, go ahead.
Next game was the Colts versus the Pack. I had the Colts winning because
Well, that was a
again,
frustrating
I
game
don't know
because
what's going on with freaking the Colts. I mean, you got Anthony
Richardson.
Richardson back, you got freaking Taylor, who's one of the best backs in the league, and if not the best back in the league,
But they
outside
could,
of CMC. But and you didn't have Jordan Love, so you're playing against Malik Willis,
who's a bum.
and you still lose.
Yeah, I don't know what was the problem. Anthony Richardson
I
threw
don't know.
6, but usually he's pretty good. I like Richardson. I'm a fan of his. I just think he's coming off that injury, that shoulder. I don't think he's right yet. So I haven't lost all hope in Colts. They'll be okay. I think they'll be fine. But that was a bad loss. It was in
Yep.
Green Bay too, so give them that. It was on the road, a tough environment to play. Can't say weather was a factor because it was sunny and 80 in Lambeau.
Right. Yep.
Shit. Now, you ain't going to see that the rest of the year. I promise you that.
Nope.
Nope. So, all right.
Next game was the Rams versus Cards. I had the freaking Rams winning, so I am stinking it up this week.
I picked the Cardinals there. So yeah,
Did you?
I picked the Cardinals there. Kyler Murray looked really good.
Yep. Marvin Harrison,
Jr.,
beast.
2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 130 yards on 4 catches. I mean, he is the complete package. I mean, the guy can literally do it all. We forgot to talk about Malik Neighbors too. That was another rookie receiver I like, and he had a big game against the Commanders. 6 catches and 100 and something yards and a touchdown. So we'll give him his kudos. But yeah, back to Marvin. I mean, Kyler Murray looks good. I've always liked Kyler, especially when he came out after winning the Heisman at Oklahoma. But a lot of people gave up on him after the knee injury, and now he's a year removed, a little over a year,
just chucks the ball up there and prays somebody freaking catches it.
He moved so well. He held on to that ball for 8.5 seconds. Longest play this year in football. And there's Marvin. There's Marvin, or there's Trey McBride or Michael. One of those guys, Michael Wilson. One of them will get open. He says,
"He just throw it." I'm still not gonna be there
because bro he's only 5'9", right? Him and Bryce Young are the same height.
Freaking tiny as hell.
Tiny as hell.
Next game we got is the Bengals versus the Chiefs. And of course, the Bengal fans are going to complain that it was the Bengals versus the Chiefs and the refs. But
now that play was a pass interference. As much as I hate it, it was though. It was blatant. So everyone's saying, "Oh, the refs bailed them out." Well, no, the Bengals outplayed the Chiefs 100%. They should have won the game. But guess what? Harrison, Bucker goes to kick it, and that penalty.
It's money.
Just terrible.
Yep.
But there was a lot of points left on. Burrow was much better though. I thought he played much better. He looked good.
Right.
He always plays Kansas City good, right? He had a winning record. He still has a winning record against Mahomes.
Yep.
He's 3-2 now in his career, so that's impressive. So he should be 4-1. But the Bengals will be fine. They will be fine. They don't have a running game as their problem. But once T. Higgins comes back,
why would you trade your Mixon to freaking Houston?
Well, they didn't want to pay him all that money, so it was
And now it's biting him in the ass.
Yep, and they should have definitely kept him because they need him. But T. Higgins is out. He's going to be coming back probably not this week, but the next week, so they'll be fine. Once you get T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Andre Iovaisi, who's already got 2 touchdowns on the year, looks good as their third receiver. The Bengals will be fine.
Yep.
The offensive
and who
line,
knows? They may trade for a running back. When it comes trade deadline, they make a trade to.
They're starting Zach Moss, but he's like a good running back. He's just not.
Yeah.
He's not that dude. Like you need a Saquon Barkley type. They had one, Joe Mixon,
and he's tearing it up in Houston.
Yeah, of course. All right, go ahead.
Next one we got is speaking of Houston, we got the Bears versus the Texans, and of course the Texans won that and just look like one of the best teams in the league right now.
Yeah, and the score didn't reflect the domination. It was 19-13 Texans, but it should have been a lot worse than that. Caleb Williams was running for his life. The interior offensive lineman for the Bears might be the worst in the league. They showed it against the Titans. They couldn't block. who are a much better defensive line than the Texans. Texans got Danielle
Right.
Hunter and Will Anderson, but they don't have 4 guys like the Titans do, right? So,
Yeah.
and they look terrible inside. Patrick and the other guard, Nate Davis. Good Lord, they both are getting paid $30 million, so $15 million each a year, and
Yeah.
there's no way. So we'll see about that. But yeah, the Bears will be okay too. They're 1-1. So Texans are 2-0, right?
Yep.
So how many undefeated teams do we have? There's like 9 now. Is it 9? So you got,
I think it's less than that. I
or
think
is
you
it
got the
6?
Texans, and then you have
Steelers,
Chiefs, Steelers, Seahawks.
Seahawks,
Who else is 2-0?
the Vikings.
I think they're 1-1, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're 1-1. The Saints are 2-0.
Saints. Yep.
So that's
Saints.
5. And so we're missing one team. Who are we missing? But anyways, yeah. So it's still pretty good.
Bills.
So and Bills. That's right. So it is 6 teams. That's
Yep.
it. Yep.
Oh, and the Chargers are 2-0.
So that's 7. Shit. So maybe it is
And
9.
Minnesota. And
Minnesota?
Tampa Bay. Yeah, it's Minnesota.
So it is 9.
Tampa, 9.
That's 9.
Yep.
So I was right the first time.
Yep.
So 9. Damn.
I
Okay.
didn't realize there was that
9
many.
after this week because the Steelers
No.
play the Chargers.
Yep.
Right.
There's gonna be there's quite a few teams that are playing
I'm
against
not
each
saying
other.
the Steelers are going to win. I think it's a good game. The Chargers are a much better team this year, obviously because of Harbaugh. Get rid of your receivers. That's what they did. They kept Johnson, the big receiver, which Jim Harbaugh likes, right?
Yep.
And he goes to the running backs. And look how good J.K. Dobbins is, leading the league in rushing.
Yep.
That's not by accident. The line is better in L.A., but they haven't faced a defense like the Steelers in Pittsburgh, too. It's going to be hard. They're not going to be able to run the ball against us. J.K.'s always struggled against us, so they're going to have to figure something out, and I don't think they're going to be able to pass it that much against us. Herbert will be under a lot of distress, so we'll see.
Which that's where we can segue into this week's picks, and you've got. I think we both have the Steelers over the Chargers.
Yes.
Just because the Steelers, obviously, we touched on it. Their defense is just phenomenal.
And the home opener, right?
Yeah.
Both games on the road. Yep. Okay, go ahead.
So they go 3-0. Pats versus Jets. I got the Jets.
Where's it at? New York?
I think it's in New York.
Then I'll take the Jets. Give me the Jets.
Broncos versus Bucks. I'm taking the Broncos.
You taking the Broncos?
I'm the homer. I think they finally maybe get their crap. The defense looks really. It's in Tampa Bay.
It's in Tampa Bay, but I think that'll be good for Bo Nix actually to get out of Denver though. So
yeah, and you're not playing this. You've played the 2 toughest defenses in the league back-to-back weeks: the Seahawks and the Steelers.
Ravens. Yep.
Right. So I mean, now you got a little bit. The Bucks aren't as good in the run game, so maybe the run game finally gets their crap together.
Should be able to run it. Yeah, they're not good against the run. The Bucks, yes,
right.
But their secondary is much better now, so they should run the ball.
So hopefully something works out, and the Broncos actually can get a win. Texans versus the Vikings. I got the Texans winning that and staying undefeated. So.
And taking the Vikings
get
out.
The first loss.
But I think it's going to be a good game, though.
It will be.
The Vikings are not a pushover. That roster is legit.
No.
So, okay. Next.
Eagles versus Saints. I've got the Eagles winning just because I think
after the loss, they'll bounce
after the loss, I think that's going to leave a poor taste in their mouth, and they're going to come out to play. I think so.
I'm taking the Saints. They're not losing. You taking the Saints? Not in the Superdome. They're not losing. There, yep. Give me the Saints at home, and I think it's going to be high scoring. Both teams could score, so yeah, give me the Saints.
Yeah, I think it's where it's at. Let me double check, make sure it should be in week 3. Where's week 3? Yep, it's in New Orleans. So that's. I mean, I think, like I said, that's just me. I think the Eagles will win, but instead of going 0-3. Next, we have the Pack versus the Titans. I have the Titans actually winning that.
Who are they playing?
Packers. Unless Jordan Love plays.
I forgot. Yeah, if Jordan Love plays,
then it's the Pack.
It doesn't matter. Packers should win no matter what, though.
You think so? You think Malik Willis gets revenge against the Titans for trading him?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter about him. It's more about the defense.
Will Levis?
It's more, and Will Levis struggling so far, yep.
Well,
Okay.
maybe he gets. I think maybe he gets his head out of his butt this week and
Yeah, we'll see.
turns it
Yeah, the
around.
backers are good. Backers good on defense.
They are.
Yep. All right.
Next, we got the Giants versus the Browns. I got the Browns. I mean, the Giants are
Browns.
just one of
That's
the
a
worst teams in
terrible
the
game.
league. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. Browns though.
Next, Bears versus Colts. I got the Colts winning that. I think they finally get it together, and
I'm going to take the Bears. I
they're
think the
taking the
Bears can win
Bears.
that. Is it in Chicago or is it in Indianapolis?
Indianapolis.
Yeah, I still take the Bears. The Bears defense is better than the Colts defense. So,
I just think the Colts have finally, again,
but they do play much
they're
better
not
at
happy
home.
with,
Yeah.
being 0-2 that they finally turned things around.
Okay.
Panthers versus Raiders, that's a no-brainer. Raiders
Whoever
on that
the
one.
Panthers play, Brad, we're not picking them.
Do you think they go 0 and freaking 17?
100%. They're not winning a game, Brad. They are not.
Yeah.
They will not be in a game, let alone win a game.
Yeah.
Too bad the Steelers don't play them this year because that's a gimme. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a dub. Every team that plays them this year, that's a dub.
If anybody loses to them, that's definitely going to be sad.
It ain't happening.
Dolphins versus Seahawks. I got the Seahawks winning that.
Well, Seahawks, obviously, because Skylar Thompson is not a national quarterback.
And the defense for the Seahawks, again, we discussed, they're really good.
Yep.
I'm surprised at how well their defense has played.
They've been drafted.
Ravens versus Cowboys. I got the Ravens winning that one.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys upset them. Is it in Baltimore or in Dallas?
It's in Dallas.
Oh, then they better win that. If they lose 2 games in a row in Jerry's world, then the Ravens can beat them, of course.
And their coach might be out of a job.
Yeah, no shit. Okay.
Jerry might end up taking an early decision on that one.
Yeah. All right, next.
Lions versus the Cards. I got the Lions winning that.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game, though. But, yeah, give me the Lions. I agree.
Next, we got the 49ers versus the Rams. I got the Rams winning that one. CMC's still out. I think Deebo Samuel, I think he's hurt.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams, too, because they're just hurting too much, the Niners.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Rams have to win. Stafford's got to get them a win.
In freaking LA. Yep.
Yeah, they got it. And the Rams should beat them. Yep. Okay.
Next, we got the Chiefs versus the Falcons. Give me the Chiefs on that one, obviously.
I do think it's going to be closer, though. The Falcons' defense is good. You saw what they were able to do to the Eagles, shut them down a lot. So,
yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Jags versus the Bills. I got the Jags winning that one.
I got the Bills. Yep. Yeah, but the Jags, if they start 0-3, the sky is falling for them. They can't lose that game.
That's why I got them win them, just because I think
it's in Jacksonville, though, right? It's not.
No, it's in Buffalo, I think.
That's gonna be tough. That's a tough place to play. But if you're gonna play them, this is the time to play them in September, not in December. Okay, go ahead.
And like I said, I just think the Jags, they've got a good defense. I think they got a chip on their shoulder and will want to come out and do something.
I think Josh Allen owns the Dolphins like he did again, and he carries over. All right.
Commanders versus the Bengals. I got the Bengals winning that one.
Yeah, the Bengals should win that game, but I would not be surprised if the Commanders are.
It's going to be close. It's not going to be a blowout. It'll be, close 2019, something like that to be.
I like the Bengals defense to keep a minute. Bengals.
Yeah. I guess the next thing we can kind of touch on, since we're on the NFL. So, what do you think as far as should happen with Tua Tagovailoa? So this is his 5th freaking concussion
in 3 years.
They put him on the IR now, so they've got 4 weeks at least of him recovering. And
plus,
is it worth coming back, or is it worth
So this is how I feel about it, and not from a medical standpoint, right? Because we both have a medical background, but not from the medical standpoint. I'm talking just purely from the football. I think what he needs to do is he needs to go out and see an independent neurologist, and then also the NFL. Evaluate Siriat. He's on the IR. That's 4 weeks plus the bye week in week 6. So he doesn't come back. I'm sorry, week 7. So he doesn't come back till week 8. Okay, we're only on week 3 coming up. So that'll give him a little over a month. So that's plenty of time to get that stuff done, get your thing, see where you're at. I don't think he plays again this year. I do think he will come back next year. That injury, Brad, was very scary because he is the one that initiated the contact. That's the
And that's
first
been
time
all of his concussions. He's initiated the contact.
he's initiated the contact, and he fell into what are the
Hamlin's
chances?
chest.
Damar Hamlin, the guy that almost died.
Right.
I mean, a year ago this time. Well, it was Christmas time, right?
Right.
Last year. So it's pretty crazy. I just feel last time they mishandled it. The coach, Mike McDaniel, it wasn't on him, but they know that as an organization, they failed Tua. They
Yep.
failed. So now they have to get it right. Tua has to get it right. He's a family. He's got 2 kids, a beautiful wife at home. He just signed a $262 million deal. I mean,
And I think he's got an insurance clause in that with it if he because of
yes,
his concussions.
yes, but he'll still get paid, but you won't
Right.
get all the guaranteed money. But so yeah, I think he's done for the year. What are your thoughts?
I think he could be done for his career. I think you got to look at. He's going to probably talk with his family, decide what's best, and I mean, I know he probably loves playing. Either he continues playing and he changes his style,
Yep.
or he has to or he's going to retire because you can't keep playing the way you're playing and expect to have a long career. It's not going to happen.
Right. Well, bump the long career. He won't survive the National Football League. We'd be the first player that we watch as fans die on the field from a hit. I can't imagine, but it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if. It will happen in the NFL. No matter how much you do, it's still at the end of the day a gladiator sport. So,
and maybe he starts wearing the freaking Lord helmet cap.
Guardian cap, yeah.
And maybe he does that.
Did you see the game against the Steelers and the Broncos? James Daniels, the guard, was wearing it. Yeah, he's the only one that wore it.
I forget who else was wearing it. There was another
There's a
player.
couple other players, but some teams have no players, but the Steelers have one. He's
right.
the one. Yeah,
so maybe he decides to do that. I mean, to switch to the Guardian cap and add some extra protection. But I don't know. He's got some tough decisions. But
how about don't go head first?
No,
you're a quarterback. I just don't get it.
Slide feet first. I don't understand. Who has taught him? Who has taught him to slide head first? Who has taught him that?
Well, he has a background in baseball, so you do slide head first in baseball.
Well, this ain't freaking baseball.
No, well, no shit, Brad. But what I'm saying is we can't be doing that.
We can't do
that. Come on, man. That's the come on, man. That's the come on, man segment.
You got to be smarter than that. No, I mean, you can't slide head first.
No. And then you go like head first into like
another player.
Into the player. What? I don't know.
I don't know.
All
right. Let's sing. We could touch on here is I don't know what the hell I wrote down for notes for this, but
the baseball because we're getting ready for postseason. Yeah.
So who are kind of your? I know I've got Yankees winning the East, Baltimore being the wild card, KC being the wild card, Minnesota winning the.
What about the Guardians?
Guardians, I got them taking the Central.
Yeah, the Guardians.
Minnesota being another wild card because there's 3 wild cards now.
Well, the Tigers are coming strong.
Yeah, they're right there too, which is surprising.
It's crazy. They've been playing. Second half they've been the best team in baseball. That's wild.
Yep. I think 22-10.
Yeah, it's their pitching though. Their pitching has been lights out. So kudos to them.
Crazy.
I did not see that happening this year.
No.
I do like their lineup too. They're young, but they got some pop. Riley Green, and a couple other good hitters. So we'll see.
And then you got Houston out in the West.
Yeah,
they've been surprising.
But the Mariners have been underachievers. So they got get up by 10 games, Brad. Come on, man.
Yep.
Self-destructing. It's the Mariners, though.
Yep.
All right.
I can't get it together.
Let's go to the National League. You got the Dodgers at the top.
And then you got Phillies who are freaking going to be in
Philly's actually at the top now. Philly passed us because they got 2 more wins.
They're just a freaking phenomenal team.
I think we just lost to the Marlins. The Dodgers are down by 97.
You got Atlanta as a wild card, San Diego as a wild card, Arizona as a wild card.
Arizona. Yeah, so the NL West is going to have 3 teams again, just like last year. Padres, Dodgers, Diamondbacks.
And then you got Milwaukee taking the Central, which freaking sucks for me.
Yeah, but Milwaukee's it's been I'm been
They've been the
impressed with their
shock
pitching
team.
though. I don't
Yeah,
understand. They lose Burns and they get better. What?
right.
I don't understand that.
And
But
you
their
lose your
bullpen,
coach.
yeah, and their
A
coach
new, brand
to
new coach.
Chicago, uh, and they lose them to Chicago, and now the Cubs are terrible.
Right.
And here go the Brewers, and the bullpen has been what? Are they been the best? I think they've been the best bullpen in baseball,
Probably.
and they were missing their setup guy the whole year.
Yeah. Can't make
That's
much
wild.
sense of it.
That's wild,
It's
but
been a crazy year.
crazy year. Okay.
I mean, I didn't expect, St. Louis I expected them to be much improved, but I don't know what the hell's been going on with them.
Yeah, hitting has been a big problem for them
And
consistently
they didn't
striking
think
out.
that was going to be the issue. They thought
Yeah,
that pitching was going to be the issue, and
pitching's actually hasn't been that bad.
it's been
So,
bad. Yeah, it
but
still has been an issue, and
yeah, it's
because
been an issue, but it's not
their starters have been gassed out because
not
they've
as bad
got
as
the
the
oldest
Cubs.
damn pitching staff in baseball.
Not as bad as the Cubs starters.
Yeah.
All right.
The other kind of thing I thought we could touch on, which is a big shock, is Notre Dame losing to NIU.
Yeah, that was the upset. I still don't understand that. Here's the thing: they paid NIU $1.2 million to
Yeah.
play to come to South Bend because the game was
Right.
supposed to be in NIU. Isn't that crazy? They paid them
Yeah.
$1.2 million, thinking that
lose.
they were going to blow them out by 38 because that's what they were. They were minus 38 and a half, Brad. Come on,
And lost.
and they lost
That's crazy.
at home against a. Are you kidding me?
A MAC school.
A MAC school. Come on now. It's
And
still
then
not as bad as your Wolverines to Appalachian State. I
No.
know. I hate to remind you.
And we were talking about, I think, when we were doing our college picks a couple of weeks ago, and I picked the Texas over Michigan.
Yes.
You were surprised. I'm like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
because they don't have a good team.
No, and that was without Archie Manning. That was Quinn Ewers.
Kid.
I think Archie Manning is better, and Quinn is good.
Yeah.
But Archie can win the national championship. That's how good I think he is this year.
Yeah.
As a true freshman, the kid comes on and throws 5 touchdowns. Come on, his
That
first
kid
game.
is. And he's a Manning.
So,
and it's
he's a
not
Manning.
shocking.
But he's a Manning that's athletic. What?
Yeah.
Like he's got.
Well, his dad was.
Well, no, his grandpa.
His grandpa was.
His grandpa was right. He's more like grandpa than daddy or uncle, right? Isn't that crazy?
That is.
Yep. That's pretty wild.
I told you that Michigan was not winning that game.
No, and they didn't look good.
We don't have a quarterback. We do not have a quarterback.
But the defense still looked good, though. I mean, they made
do.
Texas work. They made Texas work. The running back for Texas was running all over the place.
Yep.
So, but
and then of course you don't have Blake Corum anymore, and then you got I can't think of his name for Michigan. Their running back that came back, but Brett Edwards.
Donovan Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looked good though. He got to stay healthy.
He does.
Though. He's been having little nicks here, but you know who I've been impressed with is the USC quarterback though. He's looked really good. The transfer. He's looked really good. Obviously, we were a bye week, but we won the first 2 games. That win against LSU at a neutral site. You remember that wasn't in USC or LSU, so that's a good win. And then they're going to play Notre Dame later, and I think they beat Notre Dame, but that's not good.
They got USC Michigan this week.
And USC should beat Michigan though. It's in Michigan.
Yep. I think so.
I think it is in the Big House, but it don't matter where they play. I mean, it's USC, the better team.
Yeah, so, unless Michigan gets a quarterback between now and then, it's not good, and that's not going to happen.
The defense is much improved. USC's looking much better.
The other shock and surprise has got to be Florida State and how they have completely fallen off the freaking map.
And so that coach is gone. 0-3, there's no way, Brad. I understand they have a new quarterback, but there's no way you open up in the top 10. No way. No way. And you just shit the bed. And they look terrible. They look terrible against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's looked better this year. You know, they won 2 games. So they lost 1 now. Georgia Tech just lost, but there's no way. And then you look like shit against Memphis.
Yep.
Memphis don't play football, Brad. They don't play football. They got Penny Hardaway coaching Memphis, the college basketball team, not football. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, not a chance. He's gone. Norwell, what's his name? Norvell or whatever. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's fired. There's no way he makes it through the year. No, nope.
That's
So,
just crazy, though. So those
so
were my
swap
two
out the
crazy upsets. Notre Dame
yeah.
and
The rest
Florida
of them, there's
State.
been some. I think there's been some good football in college. So
Right.
we'll see. We'll see.
That's still early on.
All right. All right.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up for this week, and then we'll be back next week, and we'll cover week 4.
Yep. All righty.
All right. Well, y'all have a good week.
Have a good week.